Hello, hello. This is the 211th Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2225, which we are sending from our present to yours. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. And we're somewhere, but we're not somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Correct. We're in the chorus verse.
We're in the chorus verse.
So exactly, our physical bodies, they're sitting off somewhere else. And what our listeners are hearing, I mean, it's us.
Yeah.
But it's us within the chorus verse.
Yes. So, yeah, our bodies and our minds are separated, but you can hear us anyway. Mm-hmm. That's the future. Shall I briefly mention?
Right, because we've talked about it before, long ago, I think.
Yeah.
In the previous episode, but yeah, a quick refresher.
Yeah, so the chorus verse is kind of like a virtual world. You can connect to it from your lens, from wherever you are. But you also have these typical chairs. You lay in them, usually forward, which is what we're doing at the moment. And then you connect to them. And then you're basically, you and everybody else who are currently tuned in is walking around in the chorus verse. Mm-hmm. And this is a completely virtual world where you find the real world, but also a whole bunch of not real world.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And part of it is, so exactly, especially where we are right now, it looks roughly like the real world, but we look very different from how we usually look.
We do.
And even beyond, at least for myself, beyond the kind of thing I could even do with a cyborg chip.
Yeah.
So, shall we say what we look like?
Yes.
So, I look like a big sack of rocks covered in orange fur, which is to say I'm an orangutan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty fun being this way,
and
way more relaxed.
A very impressive one, if I may say so.
Thank you. And yourself? How would you describe yourself?
I'm like a human. I just played around with like smaller details. So I have a pink jacket. I have a ring beard.
Ring beard?
Yeah, like a beard, like
yeah. A goatee.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can see it.
I mean, your hair's pretty like tall and slicked back.
Yeah, that's it.
Your features are very different from in the real world, but it's such a
blend of everything.
Mix. Exactly, it's not like you look like you're from any particular place.
It's also my hair is dark red as well, and I'm wearing sunglasses.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice red cowboy boots.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Okie dokie. And so where are we? So we said we're in the chorus verse, yeah?
Yeah.
And right, we're at the top of the very tallest window, at least in this part of the chorus verse.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the chorus verse, I don't know how big it is, but in the area that we are in now, I don't think there's anything taller than where we are now.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So we have a nice overview.
Yeah, exactly. So we actually, the idea was to record this episode right here, which is why we're doing this at the moment. The chorus verse was originally, very long time ago, started as choir practice.
Right.
Just a virtual world where people that like to sing would go to practice.
Yep.
Then this became very popular with everybody, so they kind of like branched out. But we didn't come here to sing.
Nope. I mean, we still do a little bit here and there. It's nice being in a musical, but exactly, we didn't come here for that purpose.
Yeah, we basically came with an open mind. The only thing that we wanted to do was record here, so we thought, let's just go here and see what we find on our paths. And we did stumble over something.
Right, and yes, something a bit unusual or at least for both of us, yeah. Because sure, often, so when you come to the chorus verse, it's totally normal to meet new people, get talking, sometimes make friends, it's all good. But the thing that was unusual today is we met someone, and both of us, I mean, we had a nice conversation with them, yeah? But afterwards, both you and I were talking, and we both suspect that they're actually not someone from the outside world, but rather there's someone from here, like they only exist here in the chorus verse, and that's not meant to be something that's possible.
Yeah, exactly. So you're either an NPC, like a non-playable character, just like generated through the chorus verse, or you're from outside,
like ourselves.
Like us.
Yeah. But go on.
Yeah, no, it's like I know that the person that we spoke to, they very much acted like a real person.
Right.
But there were all kinds of signals where we both were thinking, I don't think this person is real. Like, not real.
Yeah.
So for me, of course, in the end, where we said, hey, let's meet up in the real world. Yeah.
Right, they said no. I only like to meet people here in the chorus verse. Okay, it's preferences, fair enough. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they wouldn't even give us their contact details.
Yeah, and also their ID. I mean, it's like you just know the ID, right? Mm-hmm. So, but just the chorus verse ID, but you can see this already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but there were all kinds of little things, especially when we would speak about anything happening outside the chorus verse, they would kind of like
their eyes would glaze over.
Yeah, and then move the conversation back to something that was actually happening inside.
Yeah, and now it comes back to what was the thing that really at least made me suspicious. So we mentioned how, exactly, the chorus verse, not everyone, but most people do come here, even if it's not to sing the whole time, that they enjoy occasionally bursting out into song, being in a musical, doing a dance number. You wouldn't come here if you didn't like that.
Yeah.
But the person we were speaking with, they were really just... we were walking along, and then some people in the distance were singing, they got a real look of disgust on their face. And they just didn't, and they were really bitter about it.
Yeah, they
singing.
Felt like fed up with music.
Mm-hmm, exactly, and that's how they said, they're just hearing it all the time, and they wish people would stop singing so often.
Well, then you shouldn't go into the chorus first, but apparently they were still there.
And that's why we suspect maybe that that they can't leave, because they're not from elsewhere,
I find it interesting, and that's kind of the reason why we went to speak with them initially. They looked like a very standard human.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Right, yeah. Like you said, not all custom, like not all fancy clothes like yourself, not all orangutan like myself.
Exactly. There are so many possibilities here. Very rarely see somebody who didn't do any
so basic,
fancy customization. I mean, some people do, whatever.
Sure.
Some people look like themselves here. That's also fine, but it's just rarely so. But that's what's kind of the reason. Hey, that's somebody who didn't do anything extravagant. Let's go speak with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was I don't know, an hour ago. I'm not sure how long we're here already.
It's been a while. I've also lost track of time.
Yeah, I mean because. I mean, we can get to our little side quest in a second. I thought the group of opera singers was nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We basically bumped into them right after we arrived. But they were singing opera in a choir. An opera choir, I'm not sure if that's a thing, but that's what they were doing.
Here it's a thing. And that's actually... I don't know if we talked about it when we talked about the course verse long ago. Mm-hmm. It was originally intended, that people could practice singing, and the reason that kind of faded away a bit was, sure, you could practice singing really well in here, but it didn't actually train your vocal cords out in the real world, like your body, your physical body.
Yeah.
So everyone who's here can sing amazingly. Mm-hmm. Doesn't necessarily translate to meaning they can actually sing on the outside.
But it's also...
But the opera singers were amazing.
Yeah, that's true. But also, like, if everybody can sing amazingly here... then you don't really need to sing amazingly in the outside world. But if you want to go to a good concert, you can go here.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's maybe also a trick, like a unique selling point of the actual makers of the chorus verse to get people to come back, because this is where you hear the good music. Mm-hmm. Because this is where all the music is good. Everybody can sing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, then we
so
kind of...
Go on.
Yeah, but then we kind of stumbled over these side quests, right?
Exactly, yeah. To find the 6 Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's like, because here there's pretty much everything. You can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But I see these side quests, and for some reason, I always ignore them. You see them...
You don't feel compelled to take part?
Not really, no. You see them, just kind of like hovering above the ground with a little icon, okay, here I can do a race, or I can do a whatever. But I'm usually here for a reason, maybe for singing, for meeting with people, for doing stuff.
Sure. When I come to relax, though, I like this one that we're doing now, finding the Chaos Emerald. It's basically an excuse to wander around,
True.
So it's like sightseeing. So it's not like exactly some tasks kind of distract you from what you're doing. But in this case, hey, it's just an excuse to look around and talk, for you and I to talk, bump into new people maybe, and see more of the world.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's always been like I do like to do these kind of things, but it's usually the reason that I log in.
Okay.
So it's like, I want to do that thing. So and then I'm on my way there, and I see all the other opportunities on the side, which I ignore because I'm on my way to do something else.
I see.
But yeah, so
So today, you're not ignoring it today.
No, we grabbed it because we thought, hey, this could be fun to speak about in the podcast.
Correct.
So the 6 Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, we found the first one already, like pretty much straight away, but exactly we have 5 left to find. And that means we found the one here for this zone. We need to go to the next zone.
Yeah.
Well, we need to go to another zone. It's not a linear thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a couple of choices that we were looking at.
But that's also why we in the end came up here to basically look around and see which direction we would go to. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the first Chaos Emerald, it was right behind the dumpster, where we grabbed the icon. So
I think that was to get you motivated. You know, like okay, I've got one already. I totally got to get the rest. You know.
You know what we're supposed to what we can do with this when we get all 6, or do we get something?
The goal, just get all 6.
Just to get a badge, right?
Yeah, exactly. You get a badge saying, "Hey, congratulations, you found all 6 Chaos Emeralds."
Because you grabbed the icon, will you get the badge? Do I also get the badge?
I'll definitely get it, and because we're in the same team, then yep.
Okay, cool. So it's team based. Okay, okay. But yeah, we can. But then we came up here, and then we had to watch an ad. I mean, that's the thing with course first. Of course, sometimes it's interrupted. You don't see the world briefly around you. You're in an ad. Everything around you is about the ad, and then the ad disappears.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't skip it because...
No, I mean, this is how it's funded.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can pay.
Sure.
Which neither of us does. So we need to figure out where to go after this.
Yep.
But also, I do want to do a few other things also when we're done with this.
Yeah, not just find the Chaos Emeralds, but do some other things too.
Yeah, so is there anything you want to do later, once we're done with the Emeralds or bored with the quest?
I guess something to eat.
Oh yeah, good idea.
An orangutan, so it'd be interesting to eat things as an orangutan. You know, my arms are so much longer.
You can grab everything.
My mouth is way more, I think prehensile is the word. My lips can do all kinds of weird things, so I'm interested to try eating.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I was gonna check out walk around the App Store.
Sure.
It's like there's one in every city, basically. Check out the newest pay-to-win releases.
Yep. See if there's any ones you haven't tried yet.
Yeah, I always find that very relaxing. There are so many releasing every day. They're very cheap. So...
Yeah, I mean, you're free to start playing, and just if you want to win, you've got to pay.
Yeah, exactly. So... Yeah, just hang out there, see if we can meet anybody. Yeah. And maybe once we're done and we have some time, we can go to Bouncy Candyland.
Okay. I mean, yes, we can. Yeah, that makes more sense, probably. I was thinking there might be a Chaos Emerald there. Probably not, yeah. I mean, because then we could go there now, like as our next stop.
I like that. Or combine 2 things at once.
Exactly. Bounce around the place, munch some candy, and also look for the next Chaos Emerald.
But there must be clues, you know. We can't just aimlessly run around the course verse indefinitely.
I mean, I think you're right, and I think that some people play it that way. They look for the cues, you know, the clues rather. But I think you can also just wander and
then just see. But I mean, there was a signal at the top of the screen that was blinking when we were close to.
True, and you get that exactly as you get closer. There's that blinking increases in blinkingness, and also there's like a vibration in the air.
Okay. Or maybe there are like thousands of Chaos Emeralds.
We just need to get 6. Yeah, that would be nice.
I'm going to go with that scenario, so then let's go to Bouncy Candyland.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but I think that's it.
Yeah. And then, hey, I think it's been a month now already that we haven't answered Joseph's question.
Yes, let's
Should we
answer
finally
this
get
question.
to it?
Yes.
Okay, so Joseph, today's the day.
Yes.
You wrote us an email quite a while ago now, and let me read it. So, on the radio, they explained how motorized transport is one of the main reasons why humans in the 21st century are physically less fit than their ancestors, and that the introduction of AI could mean that our mental capabilities may also suffer that same fate in the future. I'm curious to find out how that panned out for you in the 21st century. Simply said, are you stupid? Yeah, I mean, thanks for the summary at the end there, because it was a fine email. Joseph, thank you for writing it a bit longer, and at the end it was nice of you to summarize.
Yeah, good that you summarized it. Yeah, I think our human brains otherwise maybe wouldn't have handled it properly.
Exactly. And actually it was a difficult question, so We asked our respective AIs to answer, to tell us, and their answer was yes.
Yes.
Yes,
they confirmed.
Yeah. Which, we could have guessed, but...
Yeah. Okay. Good question. It's when we don't know the answer straight away, we ask AI, and they usually do.
Exactly, and they always are correct.
Exactly. And we know the answer, and they say a different answer, then they're probably right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully that answers Joseph's question.
It does. Shall we answer another question, or shall we leave that?
No, let's do the other question.
Second question. We haven't done some for quite some time.
Exactly. Well, we've skipped the listener questions a few times because we were rambling on about the other stuff.
Yeah.
That's the two.
Okay, so second one for today. Sandra asked, "Hello, Dirk and Simon. Our dog got puppies last week, and one of them is an albino. Now I was wondering, do you still have albino animals in the future?" So thank you for the email, Sandra. And yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. And then, I think our listeners must know, but in case they don't, an albino animal, so albinoism, it's when there's no pigmentation, yeah? So in the case of a puppy, it would have white fur, red eyes, that kind of stuff. Okay, and yes, so that still exists, but it's fun because now there are other anomalies, yeah?
Yeah.
Like in addition to that, like for most recently, I saw a zebra, and its stripes, instead of like vertical on its body, like top to bottom, they were rather horizontal, so head to tail.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, similar pattern as you'd see on any regular zebra, but just, reoriented around 90 degrees. That was real interesting. Have you seen any?
It's been for a while ago. There were penguins spotted that had the black and white swapped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like a black belly and a white... basically like when they're babies, but these were grown-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
Babies are more like grey, but you know what I mean.
And then that turned out to be contagious because then they were in a zoo together with panda bears, and they also then suddenly had the black and white swapped.
And even that was in the zoo, but then actually at the North Pole, the polar bears all of a sudden got black, and that's real not helpful when they're in the snow, So that was tough. Yeah. In the zoo, it's less of a problem.
Exactly. So that's a kind of thing. It seems to be like a black and white thing.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, okay. There's two listener questions with two
listener questions, chorus verse, potentially. So what? Two? What did you say?
Two listener questions and two answers. And in both cases, we answered yes.
Very positive of us. I think we're done for today. Yeah.
Yes,
we're off to Candyland in a
second. Yes. Candyland's waiting.
Mm-hmm. So, folk who listened to Test from the Future, please send an email to michaellasagna5@gmail.com. Put the number 211 in the subject line, so we know this successfully went back in time. And feel free to ask us questions, which we are now answering much more promptly.
Yes. And for now, thanks for listening, and see you in 200 years.
Bye-bye.